It's your boy, it's your boy. Weekdays, tell me how you heard. Hallelujah. It's your boy, it's your boy. On your radio, bringing you the word. Hallelujah. It's your boy, it's your boy. Family, we back. You rocking with your boy Scooda right here on the Scooda Radio Show. Praise 365. I told you all at the top of the program that we had a dope show lined up for you all today. So I am just super excited to bring in my guest for today. And I would like to welcome to the Scooda Radio Show. Y'all know her. Y'all have seen her as Fatima. But I would like to welcome and introduce to you all Crystal Renee. What's going on today, sis?
Scooda, what's going on?
Nothing
I'm
much.
good. How are you?
I can't complain. I'm gonna have to take a page from your book. I can't complain. Can't complain.
If I did, it wouldn't do me no good anyway.
Come on, talk about it. Come on
now.
So really quick. People have seen you. I mean, we follow you on Instagram, and we'll get to that. And we watch you on TV, BET Sistas as Fatima. But what I want to know is, who is Crystal Renee? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, that's a good question. I am a country girl. I was raised in Martin, Tennessee. Grew up in the country, very close-knit community. And I always had big dreams to be in the entertainment business since I was 5 years old. I remember giving acceptance speeches on the fireplace, acting like I was in front of a crowd, thanking for manifestation is real. There is power in the tongue. Okay. But I remember that as a young girl, and I had family that really backed me on my dreams and pushed me to pursue whatever I wanted to, but also making sure that I got an education and all that good stuff. So I went to school, and then after almost finished college, and then I ended up getting a job in Washington, D.C., and I finished my courses online to graduate. But it was in that moment, working on Capitol Hill, that I realized that I really wanted to do more than just politics, and that dream as a little girl started to kind of rekindle into my spirit. And I ended up moving to Atlanta in 2009 and studied music and acting. And it took 10 years for things to really pop off in that realm. But it's funny how God will take you through different paths and down different roads to get you to where you ultimately wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a little backstory.
I like that. Now we're not gonna skim past this. Hold on. Now we're not just gonna skim past.
Dig. I just want to get to we can dig into.
No, we're not gonna skip past that fireplace. Hold on. No. We gonna get back to this fireplace.
The mantle.
Yeah. Cause see, I remember. I ain't gonna lie. I would used to grab the remote control. And I was standing in front of the mirror, and I'll make the crowd noises and all kind of stuff. So we've all had that moment. And just at the age of 5, so you 5 years old, knowing already little glimpse of in the future that I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna do something. Like I'm gonna really be able to fulfill a purpose and fulfill a dream. So tell us about like how your family, like around this age, they like, oh girl, sit down, or they like, yeah girl, come on, let's do something. Like how's your family around this time accepting you on the fireplace, jumping on the couches, standing on the TV?
Yeah. My parents they were always supportive of whatever I wanted to do. And at that time my mother put me into the church choir, so I started singing, and then I started leading songs and realized that I didn't have stage fright. And I was like, okay, I really liked it. And did plays and all that good stuff. But my parents are always supportive of whatever I wanted to do. But I don't think I really expressed it to them at that age. It was just something, how kids always, and at that point I was the only child. I had an older sister, but she didn't live with us. And so I was always just kind of playing by myself. Yeah. So they would maybe in the kitchen doing whatever, and I would just be in there. I would literally record Janet Jackson's performances, like on the Soul Train Awards or the BET Awards or whatever awards were back then. I'm not even sure the BET Awards were happening then, but I would record her performances, learn the routines, and then give acceptance speeches. Like, I would literally learn all of Janet's routines, all of Mary J. Blige's routines.
That's dope, though. That's dope.
Yeah. And if my dad he did not like me watching BET and MTV all the time. He wanted me to focus on my studies, and he was like, you don't need to be listening to that. You too young. And I didn't know what I was listening to, but I just loved music. I did. I loved music. I loved performing. And I ended up being a competition cheerleader, which from where I'm from, you learn how to flip before you learn how to walk.
Come on.
But you ever watch like those cheerleading competitions? Like, I was bred in one of those small towns where like cheerleading and pageants was like the thing. Nice. So I did all that growing up. I did pageants all the way through Miss Tennessee, from Junior Miss Martin all the way to Miss Tennessee. I did every pageant you can think of.
Okay.
And, so like that was always a part of it, you know. Mm-hmm. And I never knew how I was going to get there, and I just kind of went through life just I had it. It was always in the back of my mind, but I never. I was more of a floater. I kind of went where the wind blowed. You know, I didn't force anything. And until I got to DC, and I was like, I don't want to sit behind a desk. I got a taste of politics, not like it. And I was like, you know what? This isn't for me.
Yeah. But it's I like what you said, because it's like different phases. You know, we go through phases in life, and we want to do this, we want to do this, and then we get exposed to different things. We're like, oh, you know what? I want to try this. I want to try this. And I think one of the things that you said that kind of stood out to me was the whole process of it taking 10 years. And I think nowadays we live in a day and age now where people just think it's an overnight thing. They're just like, oh man, you just popped up out of nowhere. You just posted a video today, you went viral tomorrow. And I think people don't understand the process of going through things. I talk about it on the show a lot, that there's a process, and in order to get to where you are, you have to go through a process. It's like just like losing weight or anything like that. You don't just say, well, I'm gonna lose weight today, exercise today, and then tomorrow you lost 20 pounds, 50 pounds. No. I don't think it works that way. There's a process that you have to go through.
I wish it did. Yeah. I wish it did.
Look, I Googled it. You know, now I'm good. Look, how much can you lose in a day?
It says like when I'm about to go somewhere, I'm like, how to lose 5 pounds in a week. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, I just did that for a party. I was like, okay, now if I drink water all day, every day, okay, 30-minute workout, let me get some water. Okay, cool. A gallon a day, cool. That didn't do nothing. Cool. It ain't work.
Nothing. Listen, I'm with you. I am with you. That is so funny. I thought I was the only person that did that.
Oh no! Oh, faithfully. I'm on Google. Like, boom, boom, boom. I got a private tab so that nobody look at my search results. I'm like, okay.
That is hilarious.
But so pageant, you're going through life, and you're graduating and things like that. One of the things that because I've been following you for a minute. One of the things that I see, aside from the acting and everything else that you're doing, I've noticed you like doing the DIY, the do-it-yourself type of things.
I love it.
Tell us about that. Where did that passion come from, and just learning to do things yourself and then posting it for people?
Yeah, you know what? I think it definitely stems from my mother. My mother's arts and craft. Like, she helped us with all our signs, and my father. My father is a contractor. He's built every house we've ever lived in. Mm-hmm. So like having that visual of seeing things go from paper to actually having a house, I've lived through that process all my life, and been very hands-on with him with that. And then my mother was very hands-on around the house when it came to arts and crafts and helping us do science projects and drawing and decorating. Like Christmas time, she puts up like 6 trees, and you would think you were walking into the 4 seasons the way those trees are decorated. Like, she takes it really serious.
That's dope.
But yeah, between that and the way watching her decorate our home and just everything, the aesthetic. I grew up around everything being aesthetically pleasing, so that was something that just kind of was ingrained in me. And then I'm a creative. It rubbed off on me. I'm so creative, not just like you said in the singing and acting, but in the DIYs, whether it's cooking or interior design, doing your hair, makeup, all different types of things. I love to do. Yeah.
And that's good.
So
That makes you relatable too, because I know you have a lot of people that ask so many questions about it, and you're able to help and build people up through that. Because I know this, I've peeped you. Like I said, I've been peeping, and I know building up people is something that's big and that's strong for you. And I'm one of those people as well. My pastor would always tell me, you're here to do two things. You're either here to build somebody up or tear them down. And I just love being able to build people up. It's all about building each other. The media, they tear us down enough, but to be able to say, hey, man, you can do this. Hey, sis, you can do this. I believe in you. Those words are so precious for somebody to say, I believe you can do it, or I believe in you. That's just... that's gold right there. Those words are just gold, pure gold. And I'm sure someone has said that to you and giving you chances and said, you know what, I believe in you, Crystal. You got this.
I wouldn't be here today if nobody had believed in me. You know, you can do so much believing in yourself, and there are times where people aren't going to believe in your dream or believe in you and don't think you have it. But as long as you believe in yourself, and then God will put the right people in your place that can help push that dream forward.
Yeah. And it's a scripture that I like. It's like my favorite scripture, but I stand on it. It's like that our gifts will make room for us and place us before great men. And with knowing that, it lets me know a couple things. Number one, it lets me know I do have a gift. So let me anybody listening right now, you do have a gift. There's a gift that you have, and then that gift will take you places and place you before great men. And speaking of the gift taking you and placing you before great men, I mean, you went from the choir and church choir doing plays and everything to being put in a position with Tyler Perry. So tell us how that kind of worked, because now we're talking about the phase. We're going through that 10-year process. So how did what phase and what process did that occur for you?
Okay, so let's see. So I moved to Atlanta in 2009, and then I was pursuing music. I ended up getting a team that backed me, people that just believed in me and that wanted to help me build the brand. And my manager at the time, she was like, let's get you a stylist. She said, I have a friend who's stylist. She works at KATZ Studios. Let's get her to help us with the wardrobe. So she came on, and she became a really good friend of mine. And she was like, hey, there's a position open at the studio in the costume department. And she was costume designing at the time. And she was like, you already have a knack for fashion. She was like, you basically just tell me what to get and I go get it. She was like, so I know you can do it. So I was like, and I needed a job. I was like, yeah, because like I was literally like going to New York, singing at BB King's, going to performing at Clark Atlanta University Homecoming, going to different expos. Actually, I went to Kansas City for this expo that they had before. Anywhere they would want me to come sing, I was going to sing. And but working, so I had like all my people that were working on the team were helping back me, and I was like, yeah, I need a job. Let me interview for it. And it was a production assistant job, the very entry level, bottom of the totem pole job, where you're doing everything that most people don't want to do, whether it's going to get coffee, making copies, running errands, running clothes to set, making calls, trying to get Levi's to sponsor us and send clothes. Like, it was so many different things that I had to do during that time. And then I started dressing the background. And then I became a costumer. And at that time, I was literally in the background with the background. Nobody saw me. I was in my own separate room dressing everybody. I never saw Mr. Perry. It was just like I was just there. And then a few years later, I became key costumer, which is the person who kind of make sure that all the costumes are right and they get to the actors, and you kind of make sure that everything is set up each day before we start working. And at that moment, that's when Mr. Perry saw me and we built a rapport. Like, I would always speak to him if I saw him, and he never knew who I was. He would just speak because it's like so many people that work there. But once I got on set and started costuming the main actors, that's when he was like, who is this girl? Because I was always somewhere dancing, like, because he always played music cuts. Like, we would cut, and people, when costumes was changing wardrobe for the actors, he would turn the music on. And like, when I was finished, I'd just be somewhere dancing. He was like, who is this girl? Like, just so happy. And we built a rapport because at first it was so fun. I used to get in trouble all the time because like we would lose an earring or the actor wouldn't have a purse, and he'd be like, "Hopkins, where's the purse? Where's the purse?" And I'm like, hold on, sir.
What had happened was,
listen, like he's like 6'6", towering over you, like, "Where's the purse?" And you're like, "I don't know."
wow.
Because we were moving so fast. But like the next time he asked me where the purse was, I had 5 on my arm. Here, take a pic. Like, here's the purse.
That's
so.
hilarious.
I think that showed him that like she'll make a mistake, but it won't happen again. You know. And from there, we took a break and we stopped filming for a while. I went and worked on something else, and I got the call asking if I wanted to be the costume designer. And a testament to that is that when I became the key, the lady who was designing, I didn't understand why she always wanted me around her. It's like she had an assistant. Every costume designer has an assistant costume designer, but I felt like she always wanted me around her. And I was like, I'm doing more than my job. Like, why is this happening? I never understood it until I got the call to be the costume designer. And when I got put in that position, I understood. She may not even understood why she took a liking to me, but everything I learned in that time, I knew exactly what to do when I was put in that position.
Yeah. See?
So that's a testimony, just like sometimes when you don't know why you're going through certain things or why God's putting more on your plate, you're like, this ain't even adding up. Like, my check looking like this, but my workload is looking way bigger.
Yeah. See, I love that. Oh man, I love that because it like I said, it just goes back to, in the Bible it says that He has a plan for us, a hope in the future, to give us a hope in the future. So it's kind of dope because as I was hearing you say that, it's kind of like when you're going somewhere, like if you Google or you MapQuest directions to get to a place that, like if you're going to a restaurant and you've never been there before, but you want to go to this restaurant because you want to eat. It's like, man, I've seen the reviews. This is where I want to go. I want to go to this place because I know if I go there, I'll be satisfied. And you put in a GPS, and the GPS gives you about 1, 2, 3. That gives you more than one way to get to the destination. And what stood out to me was that even though you didn't understand it, there's more than one way to get to a destination, or you know what I'm saying, to a level that you were trying to get at with even, and you, like I said, you said the lady didn't even know, like she probably didn't even know, but how God's timing is and how He elevates and how He'll take us through different detours and we'll go through situations in life in order to get to the same destination, which is greatness and fulfilling our purpose and doing the things that we were dreaming about at age 5 on the fireplace, right?
Right.
So, so
he'll also too, because I got to a point where right after that he asked me to style him, and I was starting to get callbacks from auditions because I never stopped auditioning even when I was acting. I literally, even when I was costuming, I would literally on lunch break go change clothes if I had to do like a lawyer scene or they wanted me to read for a teacher or something like that. I would literally go put a dress on, run downstairs, do the audition during lunch, come back up, put my regular clothes back on, and go back to work. Like, I was grinding. Nobody saw that. Like, the people that worked with me saw it, but like people, that's the part you don't see, you know. And then being constantly told no, and then when you finally start getting callbacks and casting directors are knowing your name, then here comes Tyler Perry saying, "You're on vacation." He's like, "Hey," he calls me himself and says, "Hey, I want you to be my stylist. Help me revamp my wardrobe." Yeah. Actually, he didn't even say I want you to help me revamp my wardrobe. And I was like, okay. So I was like, when I get back from vacation, I'll come by your house and we'll talk about it. I'll just pull up some images, make a mood board so you can kind of see the direction I think you should. And at that point, I didn't even know I was his stylist. I was just like, I'm just helping him out. You know, like he just wanted to read the closet. So then I get a call like, hey, next Tuesday we're going to Jimmy Fallon. You need to pull looks for Tyler. And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, pull looks for Tyler. I was like, okay. So then we get to New York and I'm putting his shoes on and I'm like, so, you know how that relationship question, like, what are we doing?
Right.
I was like, so what are we doing? He was like, you're my stylist. And I was like, okay, all right. So I was at a crossroads, like, dang, like, do I take this? Like, is this what I'm really about to do? And kind of put acting on the back burner? Because I worked, at that point, it was 2015. And I was like, what do I do? And I just prayed to God. At that point, I learned to, like, just ask God to order my steps. Because I know that whatever He asks me is greater than what I can imagine. And I could have never imagined taking 5 years off to really dedicate my life to Tyler in the styling aspect lead to me consulting, producing a show with him, and being one of the main cast members on it now. I could have never, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't something that I had to, like, fight for. It literally just worked out. And that's how God works.
That's how God do it. And it happened so organically and so naturally. And that's what sticks. That's what sticks. I think one of the things that a lot of people, even people listening, they take the no as in no, don't do it. But I think you took the no as in no, not yet, or not here.
Exactly.
It's not for here. See, a lot of times the no's don't mean that no, give up. That's not what the no means. The no means no, not at this, not right here. It's just like if you try to search for certain clothes or something and it's sold out and it's like, oh, can I get it here? No, we don't do that here. Oh, okay. That doesn't mean they're the only place that can elevate or you can get there from. That means you just keep going, and then you try here, no. And then when you get that yes, it's like, okay, the other places had a no for a reason because this was my yes. So that's amazing. Crystal, hey, you got me amped up in here. Look.
Hey.
That's dope. That is dope. So now you're the stylist, right? You down here, you're like, so what's going on, Tyler? What's going on? What we doing? Right? He's like, you're the stylist. So when does it get to the point where he's like, you know what? Fatima, like where does Fatima come into play in this whole factor? Going from stylist to being on the screen.
Yeah. Wow. Fatima happened 5 years later. I started styling Tyler in 2015. And in 2018, we were just talking, and the concept of sisters came about in conversation. And he was like, I said, I don't know what I would do with it. And he was like, well, you would help produce it. And I was like, okay, cool. I was still going to costume design the show. Acting never even crossed my mind when we had this conversation. And then he set up a meeting with the president, Michelle Sneed. We talk, we get ideas down, and then we have a meeting with Tyler. And consulting producing is when we just tell him what 30-year-old women are going through in the dating life to give him, like, writing content. So that's the main part of my producing job. And when the script started coming out, because I was a costume designer, so I still had to dress everybody, I was reading the script, and literally it was like, this is it. Yeah. Like, you need to be in this show. That burn and that urge to want to act again, like, started like rising up in me. I was like, oh man, I was scared to say something. Tyler didn't even know that whole time that I was styling him that I was putting my passion on the back burner because I was following God's lead, because I didn't know what I should do at that point. Yeah. And when I called him and we talked, it was funny, he was actually on the farewell tour. And I was like, man, I'm reading these scripts. I was like, I've never told you this, but my passion is to act, and like I'm reading these stories and it just makes sense. And man is one has like one of the biggest hearts that I've ever known to date, but also it's so supportive. Yeah. He's so supportive. He could have been selfish and been like, no, like, I want to keep you in this space. And I was still his stylist like the first season and through the second season, but so supportive. And when he sees something in you, like, he pushes me. Like, he pushes me harder, and he like makes me go for it. And he's like, yo, you got this. And after the second season, he was like, so he's like, do you still want to style? And I was like, well, I was going to talk to you about it because I value his on every life. I talked to him about everything, and I'm like, well, I was going to talk to you about it. And he was like, Crystal, you got it. He was like, I think you need to go for it. And he was like, and go for it. You got it. He said, this is your time. And I was like, okay. And when I tell you, like, even with me not being his stylist, he still checks on me. He still pushes me. That's still my dog, you know. And it's no love lost like that. I decided to go, and he gave me that blessing, you know. So And because of him, I'm able to live my dreams and live the life that I've always dreamed of. Because of him and God, because
that's amazing.
He is a vessel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome, and like I said, that's very encouraging. That's encouraging to me, and I know if it's encouraging to me, it's your story is encouraging to millions, not just hundreds, millions of people. You're being an encouragement to allow your story to be told, to know that there is a process that you have to go through. It's not just an overnight thing. There are phases that we go through in life. We have dreams. Everybody has dreams. When you're little girl, little boy, you always there's a dream that you have of accomplishing something, and you may have to go through different routes in order to get to that dream. But you are still able, once you make it, to look back and say, man, I was just a little kid doing this, dreaming of this, and now I'm here. And do you ever like sit and just take it in and just sit and just like, man, like, wow. Like, have you ever just took a deep breath and just sat and just looked at yourself in the mirror like, Crystal, girl, look at this. Like,
yeah. All the time, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, every day I pull up into my garage, I'm like, wow, thank you, God. Every day that I wake up, I'm just like, this is my life. Like, what? Like, it's crazy. And I know that it's the, just the favor that God has on my life, because a lot of people have dreams that they never get to see come to fruition. So, like, it's something that I don't take lightly, and that I constantly make sure that I give God the credit for it, give Him the glory, and try to be a representation of Him through my life. I want people to see that light in me, and I want people to see Him through me.
Exactly. And that's amazing. That's amazing. Like I said, Crystal Renee here on the Scooda Radio Show. I appreciate you first and foremost taking time out to come on little old Scooda Radio Show to chat with me and stuff. Like, this is this is simply amazing, and I feel truly honored to be able to chop it up with you about just your life. I think so many times we see the Instagram, we see the TV shows, and we see that, and then when we actually hear, because a lot of people, I'm sure, people base people off of their characters and things, but to be able to really pour your heart out and people to hear where you came from, your trials, your tribulations, how you going through it, how you stuck through it, it really creates that connection to where people are like, you know what, I could do it. If Crystal can do it, I can do it. And that's powerful. Like, that's truly powerful.
Man, I love that, because I look at Tyler and I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it. Like, so to know that people look at me like that is just like, that's great.
Oh yeah, people looking. I think I told people in St. Louis, I was like, Crystal coming to the show. They was like, what? Crystal? Oh, I love her. And it's just that relationship that you build on social media touches people more than I think more than and I think people have to realize somebody is looking at you. Somebody's looking for advice, encouragement, to be uplifted, because believe it or not, everybody goes through something. We all go through something. If people don't believe it, they got to understand COVID exists. Everybody's dealing with it, right? So, it's just, I like I said, I just appreciate your time and what you do, and your words today have truly encouraged me and impacted me. No wonder why I rock with you. See, you got the same birthday. You and my mom share a birthday. Yeah, y'all share the same.
I know your mom is super dope.
Oh, she dope. She's dope. She's in radio, and that's what got me into radio and interviewing and things like that. And I kind of just interviewing people and things like that. I feel like God has a purpose for my voice and being able to conduct interviews and just talk to people and things. And I think that's where God is leading me and things like that. So definitely, your words are encouraging. So, what's next for Crystal though? Like what? Like I know we've all set our 5-year goals, 5-year plan, 10-year plans, and things like that. But what do you see next? Do you see, what is it that you see that you feel like, well, I got that scratched off, or is everything scratched off the list, or
no.
what you got planned next for your life, or what you think?
Right. I know, right? Try not to make plans. Just gotta laugh. Yeah. But it's funny because my list is not checked off. I think as I've evolved, my vision has gotten bigger. Because once you see like God move through your life and you see what he can do if you just put some faith in him and allow him to move the pieces of your life, it makes you feel like, wow, if he can do that, I mean, like, what else can he do? You know?
Exactly.
There's so many things. Like, I of course, I want to do feature films. I want to do like a commercial campaign. I want my own cookware line, home interior line, and these are all things that I want. I want my own empire. You know.
Yeah.
So that's for like all these little videos I do. People are like, you know, you can have your own cooking ware. You know, you could have your own home interior line and decorate houses, and that could, you know what I'm saying, you can be like the Black Martha Stewart, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I just keep putting it out there and doing the work, and just whatever God sees fit to make work out, then I'm cool with that. But right now, I'm rocking with what we got. I'm not complaining. I'm beyond blessed. So I'm grateful. I'm keeping that spirit.
Dope. That's dope. And I believe everything that you want and everything that you hope and pray for, I believe it's going to come to pass. One thing I gathered, if I could take any note from talking to you today, I think the note is that you are a server. I think you've learned to serve, and a lot of people don't understand the power in serving others. Being a stylist, that's a service. You've been able to serve others. And then God has put you in a position to where if you can serve others, I'll put you in a position to where people will start styling your clothes and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's powerful. And I like I said, I believe that God has some amazing things in store for you. And I'm just excited to be one of the people in your Instagram following, and I'm in the movie theater. That's all I gotta say. At least I'm in there. I'm able to see what's going on.
Thank you, friend.
So tell us. So now, of course, if they're not following you and people want to start following you, how can they follow you, get in contact with you? And then before you go, if you can give a word, I mean, you've given so many gems, but if you can just give something to somebody that may be listening, or just something that's on your heart that you feel that, just will be an encouragement to someone.
Yeah. So I'll give you that first, and then we can give our social handles after. But I think the biggest gem that I would give to people is to relinquish control and allow God to control your life. Just give him, still do the work. When I say relinquish control, that doesn't mean just sit down and like, all right, God, what you gonna do? That means like still do the work and work towards it, but know that that's the fuel that's backing you, and allow him to really work for you. Because I learned that when I do the work, God really shows up and just moves things that I couldn't even imagine that I could move. So I would say definitely just try to relinquish that control, because it's so hard. Like in our daily lives, we want to have control over everything. And like, okay, I need to do this and I do this to get here. No, sometimes you just got to do the work and allow him to move.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. Ooh, I took notes. I just took notes. Yeah, I just took notes. And then now, how can we find you? Because we want to follow, we want to keep up to date, we want to celebrate with you. I think that's one of the biggest things. We don't want to just watch you, but we want to celebrate with you. So how can they keep in contact with you, following you, social media, and things of that nature?
Yes, Instagram, I am LUVCRYSTALRENEE. That's Love Crystal Renee. And on Instagram, it's I am Crystal Renee. Facebook is Crystal Renee. And then you can always watch me on Wednesday nights on BET Sistas at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, come on, Fatima.
Okay.
which is truly growing to be one of me and my wife. My wife got me watching it, so I'm in it every week. We locked in. So you have definitely grown to be one of. Thank you. You've definitely grown to be one of the favorite characters of mine. So
thank you.
Love it. Well, I tell you what, Crystal, it's been a pleasure. I would love to have you back. Anything else you want to talk about to the St. Louis crew or anybody in general? If you just feel like, hey, you know what, I'd love to come back to the Scooda Radio Show. Door is always open for you.
Thank you.
It truly is. We pray so much success for you and elevation and just so many great things to continue to come your way.
Oh man, thank you, and I appreciate that, and I pray the same thing to you and your family.
Yo, what's going on, family? It's your boy Scooda. For more interviews and more exclusive content, all you got to do is download the free mobile app Praise 365 Radio in the Google Play or the Apple App Store. Then make sure you tune in weekdays, Monday through Friday, to the Scooda Radio Show, 7 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. If you would like to be a guest on the next episode of the Scooda Radio Show, all you got to do is call or text me at 314-827-6229.